Hey Tarot Sphere, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and we're live this morning. I thought it might be fun to, oh my god, that glare is so bad, to do some readings, and I've got some updates on my planner, which I didn't quite get to with the last live chat, but I've got even more updates, so that's exciting. Oh no, who cares me? I might go get Beaker. Actually, you know what? Why don't I do that? I'm gonna go get Beaker real quick. Who wants to play? Beaker. Be good though. Yeah, I already promised you be good. All right. So we have Beaks and Geeks. Maybe just for a little. Hi. Hi, Amethyst. How are you? Sorry, Beaker was gonna scream, and I hadn't had him out yet to play this morning, so he was just he's not gonna be quiet unless we have him with us. So I thought it might be fun to just do some readings, and I'm gonna take this curtain down. Oh, sorry, I thought I could have a curtain and have it be good, but that's a little bit better. That's better. Okay, so we can see decks now. Yay. We'll do some readings and planner updates. So for the planner, for those of you that don't know, I'm designing a planner that I'm planning on taking to Kickstarter. When will we take that to Kickstarter? So I was hoping to have it on Kickstarter already. But my plan was to have it on Kickstarter by late second quarter. But it all moved so quickly that I was like, oh man, I can get this to Kickstarter by the end of first quarter, early second quarter, but we are back to original plan. So probably next month, May, we'll have it up there. Maybe a little bit. No, yeah, probably early May. We'll have it up early May. Good morning, Veronica Jude. How are you? So we'll have the planner up early May on Kickstarter, and I am happy to say that samples are on their way to me. Not just material samples, but I had 4 copies of the planner made with 4 different cover materials. Originally, I was only going to have 3 made because there was only 3 cover materials that I wanted, and then pictures came back. And the margins, they told me they could do 5mm margins on the planner. And that is awesome because that means the material inside the, please don't chew these buttons. I really like these buttons. That means the material for the planner, Beaker, stop. That means the material, the printing stuff on the inside of the planner, that means that there's more of that and less just empty space, right? So who doesn't like that? Like everything's a little bit bigger, writing and it's easier. And then the pictures came out. Beaker, I'm going to put you away if you're going to keep doing that. I swear to God, I will put you right back. So the pictures came back, and he's just so excited to see you guys. The pictures came back, and the margins were a good centimeter all the way around, and I was just like, what the mother loving fuck is that? Because that is not the 5mm you told me. And we got into a little bit of a, nope, that's the way it has to be. And I'm like, that's not what you said. We got into a little bit of a back and forth. And finally, I was just like, I will find a new printer. I will start this process all over again. You told me you could do 5mm. So either you said you could and you lied, or you can and you just won't. So which one is it? And they're just like, we'll try. And I was like, damn fuck straight, you'll try. So they printed a new one for me. It looks beautiful. And printing overseas. So you guys, hi, what? Hi. I'm just doing a planner. So I have a whole new respect for people trying to get decks made. For real, right, Beaker? We have a whole new respect for people just trying to get decks made. Veronica, are you working on your deck again? That's so exciting. Oh my God. Hurry up with that. Also, I was promised a long time ago a video about astrological correspondences in the Tarot of Shadows, and still waiting for it. It's been 84 years. So, oh my goodness. So anyway, what are we guessing? What are we guessing, Amethyst? What are we guessing? What are we guessing? I'm really bad at guessing. Beaker's really bad at guessing too. So yes, the planner should be out soon. And because I'm ridiculous, your True Black Tarot is being delivered today. That's amazing. I wish my True Black Tarot would be delivered, but honestly, I was late to that Kickstarter, so I almost didn't kickstart it because funds. And then I was like, no, I'm going to regret it if I don't. So I'm actually being like a super ghetto douche, and I am pulling up pictures of the planner on my phone so I can show you. That's like the stupidest way to go about this whole thing. Also, I've had to use Alibaba's app for this whole thing. It is the worst. The worst. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Here is, so those are the new margins, much thinner, much better. I have better photos on my, I have much better photos on my Instagram, you guys. It's Tarot Planner. So I don't know if you can see, those look so much better. She said because I wanted the 5mm, and because of the way that pages are folded, some of the margins are going to be a little bit thinner. Some are going to be a little bit thicker. So it's not going to be perfect, but I was more worried about the space for the individual like planning boxes than I was for the margins to be consistent. I'm sure, like, if this whole thing is successful and goes the way that I want it to, I will go and I will find a much better printer. But so far, these are the most professional people I have found. Working with them has been, aside from being frustrating, it's just been super easy. And I think it's mostly just been frustrating because overseas, you know, there's a language barrier. You have to wait for time to, like, the times don't line up. So there was a lot of times where I would like set an alarm for 2 a.m. so I could do the emails. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So who's with us? We've got Somewhere in Time Tarot is here. Yay. And then, and she's migraine free today. Excellent. Migraine free. So exciting. And then Veronica Jude's here. Amethyst is here. Beaker is here, being Beaker. Hi, Beaker. Yeah, so we're doing readings today, you guys. So if you have questions, put them in the box, and I will do my best to try and read for you. I'm actually probably going to put him away in a few seconds. Oh my God, Beaker. Beaker, Beaker, Beaker. Just manhandle the bird. So what else is going on today? Nothing much. So the shop is still whatever. So for planner, Kickstarter May, which means that after it, we're gonna say it's gonna fund. So it should fund by the mid-June. Yep, March, April, May, June, and then I'll get it into production, and hopefully that takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, according to their website, and they've been pretty fast. Ow, Beaker, that hurt. I was hoping to get it to everyone for an academic release, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But the planner is undated, so you can start it anytime that you want, which is nice. Ow, Beaker, come on, man. But anyway, so yes, we're doing tarot readings today. I am using the aptly named Bird Tarot for today, the Norasan Bird Tarot. I still want to distribute this, but I think I decided planner first. If the planner does really well, maybe I'll do some sort of a Kickstarter to do the Norasan Tarot. The neck injury and the weather. Yeah, sometimes that can cause migraines, the pressure and whatnot. And oh my God. Oh my God. This bird, you guys. He's gorgeous, but he makes doing tarot stuff like really, really difficult. So there was an update for the Lightseers Tarot and the Muse Tarot from Chrisanne. And I think some people have been going, somebody left a comment on my last video. So the deck, so the deck, as far as I can tell, the images in the deck are going to be the same for the Hay House and the current version. But the version that Kickstarters are getting is a much higher end version. And if you're familiar with higher end decks versus Hay House decks, you know that's a big difference. So anyway, that is the big thing. That was somebody, I forget who left that comment, and I just thought I'd mention it in today's video. So yes, the images will be the same for Lightseers, but the cardstock and the box are, I believe we're getting a much nicer version, a much higher end version. And I think that comment was brought on by how she had one chance to get this version right, and that's because she's promised that Hay House is her new contract, so she's not allowed to do reprints. So yeah, there's that. And I don't know, I'm kind of glad we're getting at least what she promised we're getting, and didn't decide halfway through the campaign that, oh, y'all can get Hay House decks. Like that would be nice. That's nice. You're most excited for her decks. And I'm kind of excited that so here's hoping, knock on press board, that the Muse Tarot is like the one I'm most excited for. Lightseers is great. It's like, yeah, Lightseers, but have you seen the Muse? It's gorgeous. And it's got like this awesome, like mangoey, like this orangey mango sunset kind of thing going on around the border. And that is just like awesome. I think she'll be one of the first decks to really go ahead and do a brightly colored edging like that. There's white and there's black and there's silver and there's gold, and we've got like some of the other matte colors, but I haven't seen anything bright like that, like ever. So that'll be really interesting to see how that. What are you doing? Yeah, you being a shit? Yeah, you preening? Yep. The Sacred Creators deck, I actually have that right here. This deck is brilliant. So I hated on this deck really hard in a review, like way back in the day, which was a Tuesday. So I hated on this deck really hard in a review, and I stand by some of my criticisms. Like some of the language is a little too it's a little too not new agey, but it's a little too like, if you were gonna like Crystal Child speak, like that whole like crystals and whatnot and Instagram and flower crowns, like if they had a language all their own, some of the cards are a little too like that, if that makes sense. But working with the deck has just been fantastic. It's kind of like a nice, like, especially if you're a business person, there aren't too many things that are business specific. So the real jewel of this deck isn't the deck itself, it's the book that comes with it. And I think that's the thing that I'm most excited for her new decks, is her books, because her books are chock full of, oh, there it is. It's underneath my Kuniyoshi cats. So why am I singing everything today? Everything is in recitative today. Hi, thank you, Beaker. So this is the book that comes with it. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, it is loaded. No, stay away from my buttons. It is loaded with journal prompts. Okay, Beaker, I think you have overstayed your welcome. All right. Everybody say bye to Beaker. We're going to put him back now. He doesn't know it, but yeah. Oh my God. All right. Yes. We're going to put him back now. All right. Say bye, Beaker. Say bye-bye. Say bye. Yeah, you can say bye. Bye. All right. We're going to put him back. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. Get it. No. Oh, for fuck's sake. Beaker. Step up. Out of there. You know what? Fine. Just cause carnage. Whatever. Just do what you want. He's just doing what he wants. It's like the worst. Okay. So yeah, he's out there like yelling at me now. So he does this thing where he won't go back in his cage. Like when I he'll step up on your arm and then he'll put it down and then like you put him down to put him on the door of his cage. And last minute he grabs onto the top of it, like right above the door, and climbs up and get where you can't reach because his cage is really high. So all you can do is like bend a wrist over the edge and that's as far as you can reach. And then he stands in the back corner and he says, "Come on." And you're like, no, that didn't, like, no, you shitty bird. Like he knows he's doing it. But anyway, so yes, we're very excited for Chris Ann's tarot decks. Still a little sad she chose Hay House, but that's for personal reasons, but it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I've had top chat on this whole time. I'm gonna put on live chat. Anybody who I missed, I'm very sorry. Oh, Fool on a Journey. Hi. Yep, you were hidden. Okay, that was sad. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry, I had it on live chat, top chat instead of live chat. Okay, so we can get down to business. So if you want tarot card reading, I've got them here. We can go ahead and do those. And then what else? Yeah. Trying to think of anything else that's been coming up. Apparently, yeah, I don't know. That's all the news I can think of. Tiger's Abyss kind of took the wind out of my sails yesterday because he had some updates on some decks, which was kind of what I wanted to do this morning. But instead, we'll just do readings. So yeah, he's too smarty. Hi, Brenda. How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, also, I hit over 1,000 subscribers, so that was exciting, which means that I get to monetize my channel now, which I won't do. I'll probably look into doing super chat though for reading purposes and having like some reading marathons. So that'll be kind of exciting. Yes, of course you can get a reading, Amethyst. What would you like? What's your question? What's your question, Goyle? What's going on? So yeah, that kind of like it snuck up on me. Like the other day I was like, well, shit, there's 1,000 people who like me. That's weird. Or maybe they don't all like me. Maybe they've subscribed to me the way that people who hate Howard Stern used to listen to him all the time, which I'm fine with because that works for me. Will your son do what he promised for you? All right. Let's go ahead and get this bread. I've been saying that way too much. It started as a joke. So that meme's been floating around, and so has that saying. It's just been floating around on the internet, right? So I woke up a few mornings ago and I was getting dressed and I was putting on pants and I made old man noises. I was just like, and while I was putting on my pants, and Chris looks at me and he goes, "What the fuck? Is that an old man noise? What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to get this bread, honey. Just trying to get this bread." I can hear him. He's walking over here. Hi, Beaker. Beaker. Yeah, he's in the hallway. He's in the fucking hallway. Because he wouldn't go back in his cage. You got a great reading, Amethyst, by the way. Beaker, no. I got him. You got it. Yeah, hi. No, you're going back. There you go. This is my life. Oh my God, you guys, my life all the time. So for your reading, Amethyst, you got the Six of Wands, the World, and the Hierophant. So let's see. So the Six of Wands tells me that, yeah, he's probably going to do what you want and you're going to be super excited about it. And it'll turn out well, whatever it is that you want him to do. The World, of course, is like the end or completion of a cycle. This little guy popping up here. So the Hierophant is usually like a mentor tradition, like doing things like, you know, like it's a more orderly version of the High Priestess, like somebody who's totally knowledgeable, but also much more in that logic brain. So this card is kind of telling me that once it's done, let it be done. Don't overanalyze it. Just be like, okay, yeah, good, it's done. Okay, don't be like, well, you know what you could have done, and you know what would have been better, or you know what you should do also to just kind of like, don't nitpick it. Don't, just kind of let it be. Like he did what, like he's gonna do what you ask him. It's gonna all turn out okay. Just let the sleeping dogs lie, as far as that's concerned. If that makes any sense. Like don't be all, you know. So that's very easy reading for you. And sometimes tarot is just as easy as that. Who else wanted a reading? So Amethyst popped in, and then all right, so oh no, Somewhere in Time's leaving. So we're gonna do Somewhere in Time wants a reading. Okay. Okay, so you didn't leave, so you're still there. So Somewhere in Time, what's your question? And then Brenda wants a general reading. Okay. In the kitchen fixing chicken salad. Oh my God. I want some. Mail me some. Sometimes Beaker is really terrible, and I'm gonna make the world's most expensive chicken salad. Okay. General reading for Somewhere in Time. Any area of focus, Somewhere in Time? Same on you, Brenda. Any area of focus? Because general readings are great, but sometimes I like a little area of focus. All right. Financial. See? All right. Financial and then family. So financial for somewhere. Financial for sit. All right. Somewhere in Time, financial reading. All right, here we go. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. I went to Mordor, also known as Home Goods, because I was out of K-Cups. Stop and Shop is striking, and everybody is at the places that I usually go, and I don't like when people are at places I go. So I went to Home Goods for K-Cups this morning. So we have the 5 of Pentacles for you. Then we have the 10 of Pentacles for you. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this tells me that right now, money is tight. That sucks. These 2 birds are totally adorable, by the way. I would say probably, but like these 2 are all super awesome, yay, financial cards. So what this is kind of telling me, though, is just like things are tight right now. And when I'm looking at this card in a financial reading, what I'm seeing here is 2 birds that are like, they're out in the cold. They don't have a lot of money. Like they don't have 2 nickels to rub together, right? And then also here's like this super pretty thing. And, you know, maybe they're tempted to spend their money on this super pretty thing. But don't spend your money on the super pretty thing because you don't have it. The other thing that this tells me is they're outside of an institution that has help for you. So if you want to like ask, there's probably some help for you out there. The other thing is just maybe just, you know, tighten the purse strings a little bit. But it's going to work out in the end. I mean, so this is a card. This is about legacy and having enough and like leaving stuff to your family. And, you know, like sometimes actually when this card comes up, it kind of says to me, let me put it closer so you can see it. It says to me a little bit like maybe financial planning, estate planning, that kind of thing. And this tells me that this isn't the first time that you've been in this situation. And, you know, you'll get through it. You've gotten through it before. Like this isn't, like you've been in tight spots before. There's no reason you can't get yourself out of it again. Like you're used to budgeting and all that good stuff. So just, you know, apply a little financial savvy and a little self-control and realize that it's whatever it is that's going on is only temporary, and maybe unsubscribe from all those fancy, awesome deck pages. So I don't know if that's helpful. So Moon Priestess, this is the Norisan Bird Tarot. It's a tarot from Japan, and you can only really get it in Japan. One of my things that I want to do is become a distributor for it in the States, but that's a couple of $1,000s to invest. So at some point I will. I'll probably do a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo for that, like a pre-order. So that way I know how many decks I can sell and then order it and then get them out. So that might be kind of a fun thing. But anyway, that is your reading. Yep. So just continue with the very good and not spending. But if you're maybe there's like maybe there's a source of help or a source of income somewhere you're not thinking about. So that's also what this card can also mean. Like these two birds are right outside of a church. And in this, you know, in the time period depicted in these cards, like you could go to the church and ask for help, like financially, like it was a thing that they did sometimes, as long as you were a pretty steady parishioner. So maybe kind of start to think a little bit outside the box for alternative funding sources. Like if you read, which obviously you do because you're here, right? Maybe it's time to sell some online readings. Maybe it's time to, you know, just if you've got like rando craft supplies, maybe it's time to put them up in a yard sale or something. Like just there's ways to get yourself out of the pinch, if that means anything. So time for Brenda's reading, and Brenda's reading is about family. All right. She's really, so the queen is really holding on to the pentacle. One, she doesn't have fingers. So we have to forgive her for holding it really close because she is a bird. The Queen of Pentacles, I always saw as a very close sister to the Empress energy. Would I recommend the CRO Tarot? Let me do this reading creative and then I will get into that because that makes me make a face, doesn't it? It made me make a face. I still need to do a video on the CRO Tarot, but I need to buy the US Games version first before I do my video on the CRO Tarot, because that was a mess the way that went down. So we'll do Brenda's thing on family. So yes, the Queen of Pentacles I've always seen as a very close sister energy to the Empress, and to me it always looks like she's nurturing that pentacle, and it also reminds me a little bit of pregnant belly. So it's just got a very like mothering, nurturing, which tells me that she carefully tends to earthly things. Like it's, she's going to see that needs are met, and she's very good at tending money. Like if that makes any sense, like she knows how to nurture it and make it grow. All right. So for family, Brenda, you got the Lovers. I will spill the tea on CRO Tarot in just a second. Let me do this reading, Samantha. Jeez. No, like I'm just kidding. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles, and then we've got the Six of Wands. Let's see. So for family, this would almost tell me that there is like a marriage or a divorce or something going down if I was that kind of predicty reader. because it's a change of money and a change of status. So lovers is never to me about like, yay, lovers, they're in love. It's always about like, there's a change in a long-term relationship, like a serious one. So that would tell me that someone's getting married or someone's getting divorced, but I don't know that that's the case for you. But as far as family's concerned, this reading is, I don't like this for you. No, that is, I don't like that reading for you. Like that was, you know how sometimes you pull cards and you're just like, that's not for you. Like, I know that's not for you. So we just pulled some more. So we've got the four, now we've got the Four of Pentacles, and we've got the Ace of Cups, and we've got the Eight of Swords. I mean, like, so for family wise, like what this, so, all right. Oh, did you give me a hint? Okay, Brenda, all right, let's do a hint. I mean, like, so just general family wise, like if I was going to read this and I had no, and I was like cold reading, like, oh my God. So like knowing nothing, Four of Pentacles tells me that money's about to get a little tight, or somebody's like hanging on to money, like like a little more controlling, if that makes any sense. Like somebody's being a little bit controlling, and there's a new emotional energy coming into the family. And then also there's a situation where someone feels trapped, but that's really very like, I mean, this would tell me that there's some sort of, honestly, you know what this would tell me? This would tell me that there's some sort of like weird controlling domestic abuse situation. If I was cold reading this and like had no idea what was going on, maybe that's the case. But I don't know, Brenda, I always have a hard time reading for you, and I don't know why. All right. So we're going to look at it with your dad's dementia. All right. So your dad has dementia now. You are complicated. Is somebody in your family getting married, and is somebody a piece of shit in your family? Like that's like that would because maybe that, I don't know. Yeah, like a controlling rando piece of shit. All right, come here, cards. New diagnosis of dementia, power of attorney. That could have been the Four of Pentacles. But for something, again, something like that, I would expect to see like more estatey type cards. All right, let's see. So, dad's dementia. It has been a while since I've just straight up done readings, you guys. So, what are we doing? What's Blackwell's? Oh, okay. You got the Lovers again. So change of status. Is your mom still alive? Because if that's the case, she might be struggling with this whole dementia thing. Or there might be something coming in there with that. I don't know. I wouldn't say that there's no change there, Brenda. I mean, because that's like her partner has just been diagnosed with dementia. And then here's the Hermit card, which is a journey of, like it's feeling alone and a journey of self-exploration and all that good stuff. So I would check in with your mom as far as that's concerned. I'm actually going to pull another couple of cards for that. And then the Queen of Wands. Have you been like, I know you and your brother have taken over power of attorney, but are you doing all the things? Are you doing all the things, Brenda? Let your brother take some of that on. Like, don't Leroy Jenkins in on this. Like, let your brother have some of the say here. Like, for reals. Like, for real. Like, give it, like, relinquish some of that power. I know you're passionate. Like, this would tell me, oh, she's passionate about this thing. like passionate about the care your parents are receiving, passionate about how the situation is going down. Stop it. And then the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, that would tell me to let your brother take care of some of the stuff. Like, he's more than capable. He's more than capable. Like, let him be your knight in shining armor during some of this. Like, you might have to assign him some stuff. The Knight of Swords is very, like, action driven and, like, shoot first, ask questions later. So he might not know what he's supposed to be doing. He just knows he wants to be doing it. So give him, like, write him down a list and be like, these are the things I need you to take care of, please. So otherwise he's just gonna, like, you need to give him orders, if that makes any sense. And then this is the the 10 of Wands for your mom. And I don't know if you know, like, I don't know, like, yeah, they're like really tiny little birds, but they're all sitting on top of each other on the end of a stick with some more sticks. That's got to be kind of a heavy burden. This would tell me that your mom probably feels a little bit alone right now, and she could use, like, a good heart-to-heart talking to, even if she's the kind of person that's just kind of like, everything's fine. Probably everything's not fine. So check in with that and see if you can, maybe you could work on that aspect a little bit. Since your brother is more about, like, the money stuff, why don't you split it up, like, for emotion, and split up, like, the emotional and the financial duties between the two of you? That would make a little more sense. All right. So who else wanted a reading? Brenda, you've got so much shit going on, by the way. Like, you always have so much. Oh, no, we were going to talk to you about CRO Tarot. All right, let me see. Let me grab my CRO Tarot. Here it is. My CRO Tarot. And then here is the other thing that I got for CRO Tarot. Okay. So, CRO Tarot. CRO Tarot. Would I recommend it? I would recommend buying the US Games version. And that's it. Don't buy anything else from MJ Cooley, whatever, Kulane. Kulnani? That name. It's MJ Cullinane. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm not even pretend like I can. So when I went to go, this was an Indiegogo deck. Hi, Angel Wisdom. How are you? So this was an Indiegogo deck. And when I popped onto the Indiegogo, the terms under which I backed were, this deck had already been picked up by US Games. Everybody who signed on for the Indiegogo was going to get the US Games version, but a signed copy, and we were going to get them in advance of everyone else getting the US Games version. So that is, and I said, you know, and oh, you could also back the Indiegogo was kind of like, okay, you all get advanced copies. And then also I want to do this journal that goes along with it. US Games didn't pick up the journal. So it was like a way to kind of support the artist and also get a professionally made deck. And I was like, I'm on board with that. That's cool, because it was after a whole string of just unfortunate events with indie decks. So I was like, great, I could go for like a professional deck with also also supporting an indie artist. Like, I'm cool with that. So I signed up. And then towards the and then the whole thing, like the campaign finished up, it frog in my throat. I need a sip of coffee. So the campaign finished up and it funded. She got her money. And then she decided that, oh, I just read over my contract with US Games. It turns out that I can do an independent printing before the deck is released. So that's what I'm going to do for you all. And I messaged her and I said, hey, listen, US Games has been producing some really awesome decks lately with really awesome like packaging and boxes and books. Is your independent version going to be the same quality as that? And she said, Absolutely. And then she also said that we would, and one of the updates, it's down now. She deleted that update, but one of the updates said that she would also put in 1 or 2 extra cards for just the Indiegogo backers. Like they would be like, you know, like the Star Child card or whatever, the Starseed card and whatnot. Like, sometimes they add an extra Arcana card in independent decks, which is great. So she said there would be a special backers only card, and there would be, it would be the same exact quality as US Games. And I said, okay. So I messaged Lynn. I don't know if you follow Colorful Lynn on Instagram, but she is an editor for US Games. So I messaged her and I said, hey, listen, this is what MJ is planning on doing. I'm just wondering how US Games plans on releasing this deck. And she said, we're not exactly sure yet, but we do know it's going to come in a really nice box. We don't know the size of the box yet, and it's going to come with a pretty decent guidebook. At the time, I was thinking, and she said maybe kind of like 8-coin tarot. Do I have that handy? I do not have 8 coins handy. I'm trying to look at all the decks that I have on my desk. That would be, I don't have it handy. Anyway, so she said probably something like 8 coins. And I said, okay. And then MJ said, and like stuff started coming out, and MJ had said, nope, it'll come in a tuck box because that's how US Games is releasing this tarot. And I said, okay. And then I messaged her back and I said, hey, so I just spoke with one of the editors from US Games, and she said that her deck was coming out. It's going to be in a nice box with a really nice guidebook. And yeah, and she never got back to me. So because at that point I was so frustrated. I was just so frustrated. And then she just went along and did the whole thing. So she went with Print Ninja, and Print Ninja is like, they're an okay company. Don't get me wrong. Print Ninja did a couple of other decks. The Marigold Tarot comes to mind. Like you can get different versions of quality of decks from them, but she went with a tuck box. Remember, it'll be just the same quality as US Games. So she went with a tuck box. And then she, this is the little book that came with it. This is the book that came with it. Like, same quality as US Games, though. So when US Games did come out, when their version did come out, I'm trying to find, where is it? It's like right here. It was right here. Here it is. This is kind of how, I haven't seen the actual deck, so this isn't a really very good, this isn't actually a very good comparison. But I am pretty sure that the CRO Tarot is packaged similarly to this, without the gilding, of course, but nice 2-part box. This is the guidebook that came with Angel's Tarot, and then the cards are a little bit bigger. So I have to get the CRO Tarot to do like a really good comparison. But like this is the size of the CRO Tarot versus the US Games cardstock size. So that's that. Oh, and then she never did the extra card. I mailed her back and I emailed her to be like, hey, so remember when you said you were going to do a special extra card for the backers? And she never did, unless she's counting this as the special extra card. So that was that. And that's what we got. And it's not even signed. She didn't even sign it. So we were promised signed copies of decks. We were promised signed copies of decks. She didn't even sign these fucking decks. Like, nobody got the extra card. She promised an extra card and she didn't make one, Brenda. Like, god damn. Like, that's just, it's just. And so, and now she keeps like releasing like different bullshit, like whatevers. So there's a guidebook for it that she's released separate from the, like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just buy the US Games version and get a guidebook that was professionally written? So this is the journal, and the journal's okay. It's just, it's a perfect bound book. And then there's an image, and then like, it's nothing, amazing though. Like it's like if you were gonna like do a tarot, like if you're gonna do an exploration of each card, like that's what it is. It's not like a huge amazing journal. There's a little bit more about each card than in the guidebook, but it's just kind of like, why would you give her more of your money? Like she's clearly like, she has like these, like, her ideas sound great, but like you can't, it's really unethical. It's unethical to have everybody's money and then change the way that you're going to deliver product after you have everyone's money, after there's no recourse for us to get refunds. Like there's no way you should be doing that. We all should have received signed US Games decks and the journals that we backed. Like that's, So like the dog tarot thing that she's doing, like that came out, and I love me some dogs. I wanted to back that one, and then I said, no fucking way. I'm just gonna wait for US Games to pick it up, because it's like, I asked Lynn, I was like, hey, are you planning on picking up this tarot? And she was just like, we've emailed about it. So she also promised that the dog tarot wouldn't be picked up by US Games. But Lynn's like, we emailed about it. Who knows? We'll see. So I'm not backing that one. I'm not buying her stupid expanded guidebook. And I'm not like, and the thing is, I like the CRO Tarot. Like the images are awesome. I love me some crows. I love that, crows are smart and vicious. Like it's just, there's like, the back is also, I'm not enjoying that back. People say that they like the back a little bit better. But the artwork and the borders are really inconsistent on this version. I feel like it's all supposed to be done a little bit different, which is great. It's supposed to feel kind of scrapbooky and collagey. And it reads well. So the deck reads well, but the cardstock is nothing to write home about. It's just kind of like your basic, somewhat waxy, but kind of thin cardstock. It's not the, like, you shouldn't tell someone they're going to get the same quality deck as US Games. Like, just, she should have just done what she said she was going to do. And like, here's the thing. I hate when people don't do what they say they're going to do. Like, I'm allowed to do that. And only I'm allowed to do that to Chris. And it's usually regarding dishes. So, but no, it is not a quality product. She just doesn't care. Yeah. So Pixie is saying if she cared, she would go above and beyond to make it right. It sounds like she doesn't care. No, it's radio silence from her. So I put questions on her, Facebook, and I think those were deleted. I don't know. And then I sent her a few emails and she never responded back to those. So it's radio silence that way. And I really hope that as somebody who is creating something to sell for mass market, that I don't do that. Like, I get that sometimes it's, like, it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just doing a planner. Like, a planner should be easy. It's like the same pages 52 times over. But there's like little specific things, and I want to get it right the first time, and I want to send out a quality product, and I don't want to send out a product that's going to be awful. And I don't want to send out something like, could you imagine if I said I was going to send out, let's see, where's it good? Can you imagine if I said that I was going to send out a planner that was, vegan leather bound with a pocket on the back and whatnot, and I sent you assholes, and I sent out, I almost called you guys assholes. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm just on a rant, and apparently I didn't mean you assholes. But could you imagine if I sent out spiral bound notebooks? Like, oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what I get for having too much coffee and going on a rant. So I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. But anyway, could you imagine if I promised you something like this, And then I sent you like a perfect bound book, or if I sent you spiral bound or something ridiculous, and then I like didn't respond to email, because that's kind of what she did. She promised us something completely different. And then, oh my goodness, or real leather. So I looked into doing real leather. Isn't that terrible? Like, I know, like, so here's the thing about real leather versus vegan leather. Because as I've demonstrated before, my brain likes to overthink things. We're all assholes. It's the human condition. Creative. It's the human condition. Like, just, we're born. We all have them. We all are them. It's fine. Like, oh my God. So anyway, so I looked into vegan leather versus real leather. I'm choosing to go vegan leather because I'm sensitive to the wants of the community. That being said, it's terrible for the environment. Like, it's really horrible. It's made out of petrochemicals, and the runoff and waste and whatnot that happens when you're making the vegan vinyl leather is just awful. It's really not great. It's really horrible. It poisons the ground. It's like really bad. It is the opposite of vegan. Like, it is really, really horrible. So I looked into real leather because I thought to myself, vegan leather is actually really terrible for the environment. And the cows are already steaks, which is probably not the right way to think, but it turns out real leather is very expensive, so we're not doing real leather. And also, I know that my very nihilistic and fatalist way of thinking probably isn't going to rub off on everyone. Like, they're still, like, they're not going to want to touch leather because they're vegan and hopeful. So like that. So that is why I decided to go with the faux leather. But yes, so it keeps the cows, or they're already steaks. You can't put that leather back on the cow. Like, you just can't. Like, so, but yes. So I've decided to go with vegan leather, because I want to be sensitive to the needs of the community. I want the planner to be accessible to everyone that would want to use a planner like it. So I don't want a real leather cover to stand in the way of somebody's enjoyment. And if that is going to make someone sad, then I don't want to make somebody sad. That being said, at some point I might consider doing a special, like so this is definitely first edition, and I think I have it about as perfect as a first edition is going to be. What I would love to do in the future is to do a dated version and to do themed versions. So what I might consider doing in the future is a super very special, like, not executive version, but maybe one with a real leather cover. If I did that, however, I would figure out a way to make it reusable. I did think about making both somewhere in time because, sweet conscientious asshole, I suppose. Jesus. So yeah, I did think about doing both, but for just the thing is, when you launch a product line, like, I didn't open my boutique with all the product I have now. Like, I opened with probably about a sixth of the stuff that I have. Like, you can't, unless you're a venture capitalist, which, God, I wish I was. Like, boy, that would make my life so much easier. Unless you're a venture capitalist, you have to grow and build. So I think the undated planner is about as perfect as it can get. And that probably won't change, but future editions will include like dated planners and a luxury version with a real leather cover. For that, I would have my sister or another guest artist design a cover that would be debossed into it, like something. Where did I put it? I just had it. There it is. Like a full cover design like this one. This is the Law of Attraction planner, by the way, you guys. This is, if you're actually looking for an eco planner, this one's not bad because if you use the right kind of pens in this, you can microwave it and reuse it. But I don't know that I would recommend that, mostly because of the fumes that would come off of your planner. So anyway, yeah, so the Frixion pens, I think you can, like, if you heat them, like, you can reuse your things, but I don't know. There's going to be fumes. Like, as a person who owns birds, I wouldn't do it. And if birds can't breathe it, I probably shouldn't. Digital pages. So here's the thing about digital pages. I thought about doing digital pages, and I've seen what has happened to things like Passion Planner and Law of Attraction Planner. When you put digital pages out there, what happens is people steal them, and then they print planners and sell them with your copyrighted work, and they do it from countries where US law doesn't mean anything. Also, it's really, really expensive to fight for copyright. So I thought about doing digital pages, and I don't know how to go about doing it in a way that, one, would protect my product, and two, would be like, I don't use iPad. I'm not an Apple kind of person, and that seems to me a lot where a lot of people are using digital planners is Apple. I would probably do an app. I would figure out how to develop an app, but that's a really long way down the line, you guys, because I don't have app developing money. So paper planners first. Also, I really love the feel of a paper planner. Where the hell else am I supposed to put my sticker collection? But anyway, you'll make all your digital note pages. Yeah, it's intense. Oh, Pixie. Oh, what kind of a shop do I have? I have a pet supply store. So it's like I tried to make it be a higher end boutique when I opened, and my area is just not financially inclined for higher end boutiques. So I do a little more of, like, it's still higher end and like a little bit higher end. Like, you're not going to find stuff like if you walked into like a Pet Supplies Plus. But it's just, it is what it is now, I guess. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so if that's the case, does anybody else want a reading? Because it is 10:19 and it is time for me to go open the shop. So I have to go to the shop, and I have to plant lettuce in my window boxes so somebody can rip them out later. Oh my goodness. All right, Fool on a Journey. What kind of a reading would you enjoy? Yeah, digital is nice, but when you actually write stuff down in pen and paper, it sticks in your brain a whole other way. Yeah, I'm on Cape Cod. Yes, somewhere in time. I am 100% on Cape Cod. Oh, bye, Brenda. Have a good one. Are you leaving? So Fool on a Journey is getting a reading. You just bought a new car. And the money, will I love it as much as the last? And will the money hurt my lifestyle too much? All right, let's see. That's two questions, isn't it? So we'll do one for will you love the car? And then we'll do one for money. Yeah, Cape is really nice. It's definitely got, it's beautiful, but I think it's starting to have too many people on it, if we're honest. Like, the beauty is starting to be eaten into by like housing developments and shit. And like, I don't know, like it's like I drive to certain areas and I'm just like, that used to be forest and now it's 98 apartments. But anyway, it's a whole other thing. But anyway, will you love it? So you got the King of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Wands for will you love the card just as much? Probably not. You're not going to hate it, but it's not your old car. So humans tend to get sentimental about that kind of thing. Like they attach like, oh, that's my car and I couldn't possibly abandon it. So that's probably affecting the way that you're thinking about it and keeping you from feeling one way or another about it. This guy looks to me like, I know he's supposed to be looking longingly into the future, but he looks like he's looking longingly into the past. Like, where are you, old car? I think you need to think logically about it. Was keeping your old car really something that was viable? Was it fitting? Like, did it fit your lifestyle now? It might have fit your lifestyle then. I think that probably was a good move, but the emotions that you're attaching to your old car are keeping you from really just enjoying the new one and enjoying the newfound practicality of your new car. Will the money hurt you? So we've got the Six of Wands, I'm sorry, the Six of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. So I don't think that the money is going to hurt you. Like you're going to feel a pinch. The way that this is, like, you know, like maybe a little extra work put in here or there, like if you can find extra hours or whatnot. I think the thing more here is like you just really liked your old car and now you have a new one and you don't like it, as like you're kind of resentful about it. Like you're kind of like, I didn't want to trade in the car that I had. I really liked it. I don't want a new car. Like it really just, it strikes me that like I don't know, like I feel like if it wouldn't matter what kind of car it was, you would still be a little resentful. So I think you need to, logic your way away from the emotions and just kind of accept the fact that you have a new car. There's no taking it back now. and just like the money's not going to hurt you that much. It's not going to be that big of a pinch. Like getting used to it, like you'll get used to the car payment. Like it just feels like you're just not excited about this new car. What did you do? Did you buy a minivan or something? Let me see. Just bought a new car. A poodle and no one knows what to do with his grooming. You can always learn yourself, Pixie. You can always learn grooming yourself. You can get a grooming table. They're not that super expensive. Let's see. You live on a coast and the same thing is happening there. Yeah. The world has way too many people in it. And here's the thing. This is going to sound super, super insensitive. But I'm sorry. You can't have like, a lot of people are like, we need more affordable housing on Cape Cod. But Cape Cod is like, it's separate from the state by a canal. Like you have to cross 2 different bridges over it. And there's only so much land here that you're allowed to have, right? So supply and demand, everybody wants to live here, which means that the prices are going to go up. And you cannot, like, just logic, like, just, like, I don't know if it was the way I was raised with, like, you can't always get what you want. Like, you can't, I'm sorry, but you can't have a 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot house 5 minutes from the beach and only pay $900 a month for it. Like, you can't, like, sorry, it's not a thing. Like, maybe somewhere else it's a thing, but not on Cape Cod. So that's kind of like, they just keep adding these huge affordable housing complexes. And it's like the very, like, the humanitarian in me is like, great, more places for people to live. But humans are very prone to, if they see a space, they're going to fill it. And it's not like the people that, oh my God, it's so crazy. And it's people that are moving down to live in those apartments. The apartments aren't going to people on Cape that need those apartments. They're going to people that are just like, oh, hey, there's some new apartments on Cape. And they move down, and then there's more people, and then they still want affordable housing. And then in the meantime, people are just like, coyotes are a problem. It's because you just cut down their home to put up 100 new apartments. Like leave the woods alone. Just leave it alone. Just no more woods. Just no more apartments in the woods. Could we do that, please? But anyway. Poodle grooming. So here's the thing about poodles, and I know everybody's probably gonna land base me for that too, but everybody gets all these hypoallergenic dogs, like the doodles and the poodles, and they don't know how to take care of their coats at home. And then they get really mad when the groomer shave them. Guess what? It's much easier on your dog to shave it and not have it in a poodle cut, like something fancy. You just gotta shave it. Like, it's just easier on your dog. Like, the dog doesn't have to stand on a grooming table for a bajillion hours. Like, it's just so much easier on the dog. Just shave the dog. I used to do that all the time, and people get really mad at me. They're like, nope, I'm not doing that to the dog. It's mean. Learn how to groom your dog yourself. Like, brush your dog. Like, just take the 5 minutes out of your day and brush your dog. Like, that's... So, also, some groomers just really don't know. She makes everyone look like poodles. Yeah, some groomers are just bad. So here's the thing about groomers too. You don't need a license to be a groomer. You don't need a license at all to be a groomer. You can just hang your shingle and say, hey, I'm a groomer. Like, you can be self-taught. You can just be not taught at all and just be like, yeah, I could probably shave a dog. It's fine. And like, call yourself a groomer. So a lot of people don't know how to do like breed specific cuts. They just know how to do one cut for all the dogs. And that cut isn't always great. So there's the other side of that. Anyway, the groomers are their whole different, that's a whole different chat for a whole different time. I tried to hire one once. What's cool? But anyway, it's hot and humid in the Delta. They don't have anywhere to live anymore. Yeah, because it's, the coyotes. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to go because I am thinking like I need to go open. We can do a chat about dog grooming and how to take care of dog coats. So Pixie, do you have, so for grooming your poodle, what you would need for that, you need a soft bristle slicker and you need a finish comb. Those should be really the only two brushes that you need for your dog. And then YouTube University should be able to tell you how to properly use a soft bristle slicker. That's the brush that groomers use to kind of give your poodle, like it chews through mats, and it also is the brush that groomers use to give them that fluffy cotton ball feel, like the freshly groomed feel. But yes, that would be the brush that you would use. And then you could probably, like, if you wanted to get a pair of clippers, you could probably get like a pair of Osters on the cheap with a you need a guard. I forget the guard numbers, but usually it's about, for a poodle, it's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/3 of an inch, depending on how long you want your poodle. But anyway, I don't recommend shears for first-time groomers. But anywho, I'm going to run. All right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you later. And yeah. All right. We're going to end the stream. There we go. Yeah.